going to start recording.
Okay.
The session is being recorded. I would like to call the December 2nd College Curriculum Committee meeting to order for 2021. The first thing we will do is approve the minutes from November 4th, 2021. Can I please have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
I think,
Second,
Susie,
Susan Gross.
okay. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Who was the second on that?
Sue Campos.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're fine.
Lower your hand. Any opposed to the minutes? Okay, thank you. Those pass. We're going to move on to the items for this meeting. We have the first four items. We have items 21-261 through 21-264, which are criminal justice. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Can I have a second? I
Second.
didn't hear.
Dr. Griffin, second.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you. So item 21-263 is CJA 106, and it is a course revision. You'll see it on your screen right now. It's going from variable credits 1 to 2 to a solid 2 credit hour. It's no longer variable credits. So that is the change for CJA 106, which is item 263 on your packet. This will impact the first three curriculum you see on your screen right now. 21-261 C443D, Reserve Officer Training Certificate. 21-262 C443E, Police Officer Training Certificate. And 21-264 C243A, Criminal Justice AAS. As well as these three curriculum are being revised to the updated guided curriculum map. So I don't know if Greg came in yet or not. If not, I do believe Jennifer is here if anyone have questions on those.
Yeah, I am here. This is during Greg's class, so I am here. You've said pretty much everything. That CJA 106 is specifically for the sheriffs and the Newburgh Academy. And it's never been offered for anything but 2 credit hours, and it does create issues when getting that section created because it was set up as variable when it didn't need to be. Not sure the thought on that way back when, but we're going to just make it what it is.
Okay. Any questions then? Further questions for Jennifer? We will vote on 21-261 through 21-264. All in favor, please raise your hand.
We're okay.
And lower your hands. Any opposed? Those four items have passed. Moving on to 21-265 and 21-266, surgical tech. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved. Dr. Griffin.
I'll second.
Thank you. We have one course revision. Item 21-266 is S. PT 100 Sterile Processing Basics, added microbiology as a topic. Course description changed. And we have one curriculum revision. 21-265 is C216C, Surgical Tech AAS. Remove the computer literacy prerequisite. I believe it was removed CIS 100 as well. And I also believe Terry is here to comment on those. Does anyone have any questions for Terry? Okay. We will vote on item 21-265 through 21-266. All in favor, please raise your hand.
We're good.
Okay, lower your hands. Is there any opposed? Those two items have passed. We're moving on to supply chain management certificate, item 21-267 through 21-272. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second, Glenn.
Thank you. Item 21-267, C306M, supply chain management certificate. You see on your screen is the first line there. It is 30 credit hours, 10 courses, 5 of which are new courses. And I'm going to show you the new courses right now. The new courses are items 21-268, BUS 174, Introduction to Supply Chain Management. 21-269, BUS 175, Sourcing and Procurement. 21-270, BUS 176, Inventory Management and Planning. 21-271, BUS 177, Warehouse Distribution. And 21-272, BUS 178, Logistics and Transportation. And I know Dr. Griffin is here. If you'd like to comment on those.
Yeah, thanks, Julianne. And also Calvin Washington II is in the room with me as well. So I'd like to publicly acknowledge and thank Calvin for putting this program together. The certificate, he spent a lot of time doing research. We worked with our advisory committee. We also looked at our peer institutions, and particularly members of our advisory committee. There are people that are on the logistics and distribution world on there, particularly a company called Main Freight. And they are a worldwide distribution and logistics company, actually based in Australia, but offices within our district. So we spent Calvin spent a lot of time doing the research on that and consulting with our advisory committee. We also work closely with the Council of Supply Chain Management Professionals that are just down the road from us in Oak Brook. They all agreed a 30 credit hour program would be the best, along with our advisory committee. We also looked at our peer institutions as well that have certificates, and a number of them not only have the certificate, they also have the applied science degree in logistics and distribution. We thought it would be best just to have the certificate rather than applied science degree. The 30 credit hours represent the ability for a student to understand logistics, distribution, warehousing, and the others. But even more importantly, it's called supply chain management for a reason, because our students with the business classes will increase their business acumen, and it also gives them a chance that they want to move up in a supervisory role or managerial role. It provides a foundation for them to do it as well. So it's not only understanding the logistics and distribution, but it's also setting them up, if they so desire, for higher levels of supervision or managerial. So that's why we came to that conclusion with the 30 credit hour. And Calvin spent some time, Calvin, jump in here, talking to Amazon and UPS as we created this program as well. So Calvin, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, Dr. G, thanks a lot. Yes, I had the opportunity to go down the street here and spend a little time talking to the managers over there when I was thinking about preparing such program. And I wanted them to know, was it feasible? Second of all, was it something they would want to send their employees down to be a part of? They were very excited about it. I had opportunity to talk with a couple of managers from UPS also, who helped me kind of reorganize where best to have the classes in the first semester or second semester. So Amazon UPS was involved, and they kind of guided me on and helped me work with Dr. G to try to outline such a program. It was a good, meaningful conversation. It enlightened me on a lot of more things that they are doing for both companies, and I think this would be a win-win for all involved.
Sounds great.
Well, that's our story, Julianne.
I do have one question, just in case I'm ever advising students. If they wanted to continue on after the certificate, what associates, if any, would they flow into?
A business management and/or accounting finance. So it is
Okay.
stackable with some of the courses, yeah. They could flow right into a business management that have some of the business classes already finished and get their applied science degree there, or they could turn to accounting finance applied science degree as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Calvin, as well as Dr. Griffin. I think you did a thorough job with the advisory board and investigating not only corporations, but also peer institutions. So does anyone have any further questions? On item 21-267 through 21-272, we will vote on one new curriculum and five new courses. Michael, did you have a question or are you voting already?
Sorry, I just got in on the vote too early.
Okay, so all in favor of 21-267 through 21-272, please raise your hand.
We're okay.
Okay, and lower your hands. Any opposed? Those items have passed. We are moving on to item 21-273 and 21-274, computer science. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second, Glenn.
Thank you. We have two revised curriculum, U230A11 Computer Science Information Systems AS and U230A12 Computer Science Technical AS. They have updated to the guided program mapping. They are replacing general gen ed recommendation, they're replacing specific gen eds with options. So the student has more options on which gen ed to select in several categories. And Michael is here to present that. Michael, would you like to say anything on these two?
Sure, if I can get my mic unmuted. Yeah, the main change here is that we have broadened our elective options for all of our programs. I think I mentioned at a previous meeting that we've had trouble getting certain courses to run because they're really only used in some specific areas. So to increase the odds of those programs running for the students who need them, we're counting them as electives in other programs as well. And then, of course, we did the curriculum mapping for these as well.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Michael? Well done with all of your curriculum, Michael. Thank you. Can
Thank you.
I have a vote on items 21-273 through 21-274?
We're fine.
Okay, and lower your hands. Any opposed? That item has passed. Moving on to item 21-275 is a new integrative wellness certificate. Can I have a motion to approve?
So
So
moved.
moved, Dr. Griffin.
Second.
I'll second.
Thank you. We have C437A Integrative Wellness Certificate. It is a new curriculum. 3 courses, it's actually 8 credit hours. 3 courses, 8 credit hours. This certificate will be available fully online, as well as on campus if the student chooses. It is 2 core courses and then 1 elective option. Integrative wellness means, if you're unfamiliar with that, it is essentially some lifestyle behavior and complementary medicine tied into conventional medicine. So it's used in addition to conventional medicine. Will involve things such as nutrition, exercise, stress management, psychological therapies, and don't know if I mentioned sleep recommendations. Any questions on that? That's under my area. We have 3 mini certificates that once this one passes, we had 2 pass last time, they will be available fully online and on campus. It's integrative wellness, sport management, and sport conditioning. And they are entry level for pathways into either personal training or associate degree. Any further questions? All in favor of item 21-275, please raise your hand.
Yes, we're fine.
Okay, lower your hands. Any opposed? That item has passed. We are now moving on to item 21-276, nuclear medicine deletion. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved, Dr. Griffin.
And second?
Second, Cody.
Okay, thank you. C217B, nuclear medicine AAS. The vote will be on to delete the curriculum. The curriculum was inactivated at the last meeting, and a study committee was formed of individuals on the curriculum committee, which involve the dean and faculty members, as well as a representative from the business office. There is no department chair, so that it was a vacant spot on the study committee. And we have found in our memo that I submitted to the curriculum committee, the study group to investigate this deletion has found that there's no viable way to resurrect it at this current time, and so far will be formally deleted in, I believe, effective summer of 2022. Is that correct, Susie?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions on that? And Pamela is here if there's any questions on that. All right. So we'll have a vote on item 21-276, C217B to delete the nuclear medicine AAS. All in favor, please raise your hand.
John, are you voting? Okay, thank you.
Okay, lower your hands. Any opposed? Okay, that item has passed. We are now moving on to item 21-277, U224A15. Can I have a motion to approve Women and Gender Studies?
So moved.
Second?
Second, Glenn.
Thank you. Thank you, Glenn. U224A15, Women and Gender Studies AA is being inactivated. And let's see, is Bill here?
No, Bill, I'm speaking in his place.
Okay.
So I checked with Bill and Christina about this, and they were actually surprised that this is even a thing. Because we have a intro to gender studies course, and then we have a second level course for that, but we don't have anywhere near the supportive curriculum for a degree. So they were kind of surprised when I brought this up to them. I was like, what do we want to do with this? So the decision right now is just to inactivate it. It would take building a program which we're not in a position to do right now for this to be something that we want to do here at the college. But because we're addressing a lot of these outstanding degrees, we're going to inactivate it at this time.
Okay, thank you. Michael, did you have a comment or question on this?
Yeah, just a quick comment. This just predates the people involved. I remember when this was brought, probably close to 20 years ago. It was, one of the things we tried out and never really got fully off the ground. So I'm sure that's why they were surprised. They probably just didn't know it was there.
Okay,
Yeah, we currently have two courses that we have: Humanities 170, Introduction to Women's and Gender Studies, and we also have HUME 175, which is Race, Class, and Gender in the U.S. Both of these have the Human Diversity designation, but those are the only classes that we have in this discipline, so it does not warrant having an AA degree on the books at this time.
okay. Now, did we check if there were students enrolled at all with research?
I don't believe there are.
Okay,
I don't think I checked.
Okay, let's double check because we have time. It can't be deleted until we double check if there's students in the pipeline, as well as we will form a study committee for that next year at the spring curriculum committee meetings. We could gather that information, form a study committee, and then propose to delete that. Okay, so we will vote on 21-277U224A15 Women and Gender Studies AA to inactivate it. Please raise your hand if you're in favor of inactivation.
Okay, we're fine.
All right, lower your hand. Okay, and Antigone, will you lower your hand? And any opposed to the inactivation, Women and Gender Studies? That item has passed. I want to thank those individuals that were on the study committee for the nuclear medicine to delete that. We will be forming a study committee for Women and Gender Studies in the spring, as well as the next item, we'll have to have a study committee for the education AA inactivation with the potential to delete that. We have done a same study committee for multiple curriculum in the past, and we'll probably do that as well if indeed those curriculum come to spring for deletion. So thank those individuals that are on those study committees. We are moving on to items 21-278 through 21-280, our education items. Can I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion, Dr. Griffin.
Thank you. A second? Thank you. Item 21-278 is inactivation of education AA, U224A13, the education AA. Then we have two new curriculum, which is item 21-279 U224A12 Elementary Ed AA transfer program, 60 to 61 credit hours, and item 21-280 U224A14 ECE AA transfer pathway, level 3 gateways, 60 to 61 credit hours. I do believe Allie is here. I don't know if Angela is, but Allie could comment on what happens with those. Okay, thank you,
I'm here
Allie.
and I can comment on both. So in terms of the curriculum updates, these pathways are revised for the purpose of guided pathways. So that essentially was the reason why we made these curriculum updates. In terms of the pathway that we are trying to inactivate, we discovered as we began working on the process of revising the pathways that one of the pathways under the education AA was not aligned with a specific concentration of classes for either ECE or EDU. And so, and it is something that predates us, so we're not really sure where the pathway, like what the purpose of that pathway served. But since it's not aligned with any specific classwork, it made the most sense to inactivate it.
Okay. And then the two new ones are created based off of the changes in that
Right.
education aid?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any further questions for Ally? Okay, we will vote on item 21-278 through 21-280. All in favor, please raise your hand.
We're fine.
Okay, and lower your hand. Any opposed? And those items have passed. Thank you. We are going to item 21-281 through 21-284, which is physics and the 3 degrees that is in. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
A second?
Second, Dr. Griffin.
Thank you. And Farzan is here. We have a revision of Physics 108, General Physics, Waves, Optics, Quantum Mechanisms, or I believe I can't see the whole title. Mechanics, Quantum Mechanics, sorry. Credits is going from 3 to 5 credit hours. The lecture is going from 2 to 3, and there is also a course description change. So with the change in Physics 108, that will impact 3 of the curriculum that will be revised, which is item 21-281, U230A30, pre-professional, pre-engineering AS. Item 21-282, U230A28 is the chemistry AS. And item 21-283, U220A34, the physics AS. They are updated to the new curriculum guided pathways map and reflect the changes in Physics 108. And Farzan is here if anyone has further questions on those. Antigone?
Hi guys, the question I had was about sequencing. If I remember correctly, when I reviewed that one, was the order of operations when it correlates, the correlation between the math and the physics, because there are certain math classes that are taken in partnership with the relevant physics course, and I think they were out of sequence as far as the order to take them in.
Okay, I'm not sure I understand the question. Could you condense the question so we can hear that?
Yeah, when you, no one's next to me. When you guys, when I look at the presentation of semester 1, semester 2, semester 3, semester 4, as far as order of order that you need to take the classes in, the order for the math and the physics were not matching up.
The order of the math and physics is not matching up. So is there a specific recommendation or comment that you want from Farzan?
Right. Can you guys just fix that so that the students know which order to take them in?
Not sure if Farzan can understand you. You're very, very muffled.
I actually got the question. Can you hear me?
I can hear you guys.
Okay. So if you look at it's either a prerequisite or a co-requisite. So if a student is taking calculus and they are doing differentiation, so in physics 1, we mostly use differentiation and basic integration. So by that time, when we start using integration, the student has already covered basic integration. So we usually ask students if they feel comfortable taking both courses in the same semester. So the sequencing is there. And I think the only place where the sequencing we can think is a little bit ahead is where we use differential equations, and then differential equations comes up in the 4th semester. So when we teach physics, we keep in mind that when we're teaching those certain topics, that the students have not covered that level of math. So they do go hand in hand together. So we try to match them up as perfectly as we can. But I certainly understand where your question is coming from.
Yeah, if you look at the way the courses, I don't know if you can hear me better because I took the headpiece off. If you look at the sequence, I'm just speaking from a mechanical perspective. If you look at the degree, the way it's structured, physics, if I remember correctly, it's the 108 with the math. Not differential equations. I think it's the vector-based one. I can't remember which math number it is off the top of my head right now, but I did comment on it in Blackboard. It is a co-requisite or a prerequisite. Yet the Calc 3, not Calc 2, it's Calc 3, needs to be taken in concurrence. You know the math, the calculus. I'm sorry, the physics class I said needed to get added because a student was asking me about it. Remember that one, Helen? That got put on the system for next semester? That ended up overlapping with its co-requisite math course. It's those two classes. Okay. Those two classes, when you look at the sequence in the system, is in the wrong order. They're saying you could take the physics before the math, but you can't. I'll pull up my notes. I mean,
Okay,
it's in the.
so the question is, can you take them at the same time, or do you need to take the math before the physics? Is that your question?
No, I know actually the order of the courses. What I'm saying is that when we present it to the students, we need to present it in the order that they can enroll in the courses to be able to commit to complete. It's in, you know what? Because I'm in the thing, I don't know how to get out of this thing, so I could look at the notes I made. Give me a minute. Because I posted it as a commentary in the chats for each of these. 1 second. I'm in the lab and my brain is in 10 places, so I don't remember. 1 second. Because I put it in the curriculum committee commentaries. Let me jump over there.
All right, I'm going to attempt to pull them up.
Because I posted my comments. They're in the comments. I specified in there the only issue I had with it. I'm going in there right now. I'll find them.
Okay. Is
My
this in all
comment
three?
was, I probably, here's the sequence. I put it in here. For U20, Math 235 needs to be taken with or before Physics 107, not taken in the same semester as Physics 108, which requires Physics 107 as a prereq. The sequence is Math 131, then you can take Physics 106 with Math 133, which then allows you to take Physics 107 with Math 235, and then you can take Physics 108. So what I said in here, I would suggest the order presented in the catalog for the degree mimic the above, as well as scheduling, of course. By the way, shout out to the math department for moving that Math 235. Thank you for doing that. There it is. Yeah, you wrote it down. Thanks. You got it. Thanks, Colin.
Is the problem solved?
Yeah, it's up to you guys if you want to fix it.
Cullen or Farzan, do you have a comment on that?
So they take Calculus 1 before they take 106. 106 has very few topics that requires Calculus 2. So those few topics, we essentially don't go to that level of math. For Physics 2, 235 is Calculus 2. And so that's enough for both 107 as well as 108. So it's up to the student.
Then change your prereqs. Sorry. change your prereqs if you want to change the requirements. That's fine, but that's what's going on.
Is there a roadblock that would prevent a student from completing in the time allotted that the degree is written as? If they could take the class at the same time, then that would be an option for them.
The way that the curriculum is presented, they would take the math, the prerequisite or co-requisite for the physics they want could not be taken. They would have to petition into that class. Like back when we had that Math 111, Math 114 issue, remember that one, Colin? Where the student would always have to get a petition to get into the class. That's basically what this can potentially do. If a person who doesn't know the sequencing takes the courses the way that it's presented. Yep, yeah, exactly. I agree with you on that one.
So in order to enroll in 2 of the classes at the same time, a petition would be needed at the current time.
I would say yes, based on the way that it's presented.
Okay. What are the two classes?
The Math 235 regarding where they physically put it in the semester by semester technically is after when they actually need it, which is to take Math 107, which is the semester before it. It currently, it's just the way it's presented is out of order. They're showing you taking the math class after taking the physics class, which requires said math class. That's all. I mean, it's just the fixing how it's presented. That's all.
Okay, I'm trying to solve this problem right now. And so it's Math 235, and what is the secondary class that is problematic?
Math 235 needs to be taken with Physics 107 before or during. Physics 108 needs to be in the semester after Math 235, not before it.
Okay.
I got to open up all these documents to show it to you.
Okay. And what program is this in?
This was in the thread for U230A30.
It's in pre-engineering. Okay.
Yeah, that's where it's listed. The only reason I know this program very well is because it's it's a sister of mine.
Is this something that can be addressed pretty easily in the documentation, and we can vote on it as a committee with the
when we vote on it,
knowledge?
classes are going to be in the order that they're voted on.
Well, I'm saying we don't vote on it based on what's actually there. We vote on it based on flipping it around just so we can get it through.
Yeah, I think it's a minor issue.
We could vote on it based on what we're flipping, but we have to know what we're flipping, which is why I need to know the specific courses that we're discussing.
Yeah, I know. If you all can put something in the chat that's very clear that the physics and math people not in the room can understand that we can vote on right now, then we can probably get this done, because all that would mean would be to change it on the document.
I'm pulling it up so I can see it. It's just taking time on my computer to pull up this specific program. For pre-engineering, we're specifically speaking of only U230A30, and I'm checking on the sequencing right now.
Yep, I just posted.
It's fine to bring this up, but we need specifics when we have to question a curriculum.
Julianne, I think Colin just put I think he's got it. If you look in the chat. Oh no, he said under that before I saw what he put under it. That was the old sequence. Okay, sorry.
All right, so in semester 3 right now, we have Math 235 and Physics 107. And in semester 4, we have Physics 108. So what is the problem? Farzan, will you check your document? Is Physics 107 in semester 3?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Physics 107 is in semester 3.
Yes.
Math 235 is in semester 3. And
I think
then,
Math 235 was in semester
Yeah.
4.
Math 235 is part of the elective, so it can be taken as an elective.
It's currently in semester 4 on what the proposal has as a program elective.
Guys,
this is
the
what I
document
want.
I'm looking at. Okay.
Okay,
Uh,
Antigone, stop for 1 minute. Antigone, stop for 1 minute. The document in the TRC has changed multiple times with revisions. When the revision is changed,
Okay.
it's sent to Susie, and that was being changed, unfortunately, even this morning. Okay, so the document in the
so that's
TRC
why.
has been revised. What I need for Farzan or Susie to do is to tell me what semester Math 235 is, and Physics 107, and Physics 108. And that will solve, I believe, this issue.
It's showing up in semester 4. I just pulled up the document.
Okay, the one you're pulling up is inaccurate because it was revised and resent in. So Susie, in your last document, tell me when those 3 courses are. Math 235, 107, and 108.
Math 235 is now a program elective.
And what semester can that be taken in?
The 4th.
Excuse me, say it again?
The 4th semester, there's
And what-
8 to 10 program electives.
Okay, and what class is this?
That would be Math 235 is one of the program electives now. I'll see if I can put it up. Let me see.
Did the Physics 107 prerequisite change?
Oh my God. Okay,
It's in
I'm gonna try to bring up.
semester
Okay, just stop. I'm gonna try to bring up
Okay,
the
I'll
newest one that was sent in probably an hour ago. All right, and so we need to make sure. Unfortunately, this is the last committee meeting of the semester. Otherwise, I would put this on hold. But we need to make sure that these revisions are in a more timely manner. And so now it's just going to take me a minute to pull up. And when I do that, I will share the screen.
It should be the latest one I sent to you.
Julianne, if this is too complicated to do here, we can do a poll vote after the meeting to get consensus, and it can still move forward for this semester.
And that's what we're going to do, because this was not
You could put it in writing so everybody can see what they're voting on.
right. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold 21-281 for a virtual vote via email. We are not voting on that today. We are going to vote on 21-282 through 21-284. 21-284 is the revisions of Physics 108. And 21-282 is U230A28 revision of chemistry, and 21-283 U230A34 is the revision of physics. For those 3, we are holding the vote on 21-281. So all in favor of 282 through 284, please raise your hand.
Antigone not voting? Okay, I have all the ayes.
And lower your hands. Any opposed? Two 21-282 through 21-284 has passed. We will have a virtual vote on 21-281 when the curriculum is presented to us, so we could see that clearly what the issues are. Okay, we are now moving on to 21-285 through 21-290, which is revised curriculum for the pre-professional degrees. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second, Glenn.
Thank you. And you will see on here, these are the revised curriculum. There is 6 of them of pre-professional degree. Michael, do you have a question before we even present it?
Yeah, I can wait. I didn't know I didn't know there was a presentation. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh,
I'll come back.
I'm just presenting the names and the revisions here. U230A30 pre-profession, pre-dentistry, pre-medicine, pre-occupational therapy, pre-optometry, pre-pharmacy, and pre-vet. 6 revised curriculum in the pre-professional. They all share the same code. Is Richard here to present? If not, who is here to present these?
I suppose I am here to present. These are just, they were just being revised according to the guided pathway structure.
Okay. And Michael, do you have a question?
I do, and while Dr. Chan's not here, I think Tracy is, and I think she actually might know the answer to my question. So in the chat, I questioned why economics was being required for pharmacy, and I have an answer suggested by most pharmacy programs. That's an answer I really like, so I'm done with that. I am wondering why on some of the others, the social science, were specifically psychology and sociology. As a lot of you know, I believe that students should have a choice when they can. If their transfer institutions specifically want a course, of course they should take it. But I did want to know if there was a rationale for psychology and sociology specifically being chosen for the social science courses. Who's copying other programs? Okay.
Yeah, those would be common courses for them to take. The economics is normal. UIC does not require economics, but all of the other local pharmacy schools do. And the psych and social are compatible with the type of programs that they're going into.
Okay. All right. With Daniele and Bill not being on this committee, I kind of look out for them for things like that. Wait, let me get to the chat.
Let me see what he wrote here.
Yeah, I can read it. Generally prerequisites suggested by professional programs. Okay, that's fine with me. That's all I wanted to know.
Okay.
Just wanted to make sure. They wanted to make sure it wasn't just because they're popular. I mean, I don't think that's a good enough reason to require them. But if they're popular because the transfer institutions are looking for them, that's a real good reason to. So yeah, I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions on the 6 curriculum revisions for pre-professional? Updated to the maps. We will have a vote on 21-285 through 21-290. All in favor, please raise your hand.
We're okay.
Lower your hands. Any opposed? Those 2 items have passed. And the last 2 items for the agenda. Can I have a motion to approve 21-291 through 21-292, curriculum revisions of the general AAAS degree? Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Dr. Griffin. So we have item 21-291, U224A, Associate in Arts degree requirement, and 21-292, U230A, Associate in Science degree requirement. Now, none of the courses changed. None of the order of the courses changed. It was updated to guided program maps. They actually did not have program outcomes, and upon advisement from the assessment committee, we added the program outcomes that are Triton's general education outcomes. So those were the revisions. Map was updated, program outcomes were updated. Any further questions? Derek and I worked on this with the help of several other faculty.
Don't give me much credit, Julianne. You just a lot of it.
Thank you. Any further questions? We will vote. 21-291, 21-292, all in favor, please raise your hand.
We're okay.
Lower your hands. Any opposed? Farzan, did you have a question? Okay. Those two items have passed. We're moving on to other items, and we don't have much here, but we do have good news is that the outstanding guided program maps has nothing but, at this point in time, the pre-professional engineering degree on it. We will have, like I said, a virtual vote. I will be working on that tonight and tomorrow morning. So the curriculum committee, I will need you to be checking your emails tonight and or tomorrow morning. We'll just say within 24 hours to please vote on the pre-professional, pre-engineering degree once that is rectified. Farzan, I'll just need you to do a little bit of work on that again within 24 hours so that we can have a virtual vote on that. Otherwise, all programs at Triton College are updated to the guided pathways for the students' benefit. Once the formalities of today's meeting and the virtual vote has passed, then we will be able to update the catalog online. Susie's been working extra hard on doing that. So the next other item, let's see what I have here. Outstanding courses, we have 32, none are being offered. Perhaps the deans want to double check for spring that they're not on the schedule. And again, we need to kind of wind down on these. If they're not going to be offered, they should be deleted, or if they will be offered, they should be updated. To the best of my knowledge, they were not on the schedule last spring or this fall. Okay, and then quick update on Watermark. Again, Susie has been doing lots of work with the catalog update. Now that the guided program maps have been completed for all the curriculum, they will be able to go live on the website for students to use. We didn't want some updated and others not, so we can update that. The curriculum management module, we are still working on it on a daily basis with Watermark. I hope by the end of this year that our work with that will be ready to go for us to begin using it in spring of 2022. We did pose a few items to Watermark that they were having to do extra work to implement. So it's taken a little bit of time for those. The new course outline, we're going to begin working on that in spring of 2022. And the good news on that is we have formed a subcommittee that once Susie and I tell Watermark what's on our course outline, they will develop that course outline online in Watermark. And then we have several members of the curriculum committee that have volunteered to review that to ensure that it is working properly and that what we need is actually what's on the system in Watermark. Again, whatever's on the course outline now is what we will be giving them. We will be giving them optional information if a faculty does choose to use it as a syllabus. But again, that's optional. For right now, the course outline as is will be what we put away in Watermark. So thank you to those. There's no apples or oranges. I believe in Watermark. I'd like that smiley face that I had on the earlier version. Once it gets done, it's been a lot of work, and it's taken a lot of time to work with Watermark. We thought it would be a little bit more efficient, and instead it's been more cumbersome. But we are making progress. Any questions on Watermark for basically myself to answer? Thank you, no questions. Moving on to dates and deadlines for spring, we presented a draft to you last November, last month I should say, and that is final. So once that is spoken to in today's meeting, we will post that in Blackboard and on the portal for faculty and administrators to work with. And thank you to Jennifer, Dean Davidson, for pointing out that we now have the ICCB dates on there so that we know when the items do pass at curriculum, when they will be sent to the state for approval. Again, I've said this numerous times, but there are still faculty that are on campus that believe once the item passes curriculum committee, Triton's curriculum committee, that it's done and good and ready to go, but we do have to get Senate approval, Triton board approval, and the state approval. Until that's done, no changes will be reflected on any of the material. And that really is all I have for you today for the other items and for the curriculum. Dr. Griffin? Oh, I'm sorry. It's Bill Justice who raised his hand.
Sorry.
Bill, go ahead.
So when we were talking about, I'm not asking about the specifics of that curriculum, but you said that the updated curriculum was just received in your guys' office at 2 p.m. In the future, I would make a recommendation that if there are any curriculum changes after the packet's been printed, that they be put on a screen, because we're voting on a package that we're not viewing, and I don't feel comfortable doing that.
I agree, totally. So what typically happens is the revisions are sent into the curriculum office prior to the agenda and packet being sent to the curriculum committee members. We have struggled with the physics all week that wasn't turned in on a timely manner. Had I had another meeting to work with, that definitely would have been postponed to the next meeting. However, the reason that we voted on the two curriculum today, and I'm holding a virtual vote, is if we don't vote on these three curriculum today or this week, then it holds up the catalog going live with all the program guided maps. So if this is a unique situation, but it was urgent that we did get this completed. But I agree with Antigone and Bill with this. If the items are not turned in on time, this is one exception, I can't have a vote on them. So what will traditionally happen is after the TRC has comments, the faculty will make revisions, send them to Susie. Those revisions are what is in the packet. So I don't remember a time that this has happened in the past where we were voting on items that didn't make the packet. So that should ease some of the concerns of the curriculum committee. And I'm not happy with the situation that did occur, but we need this to get rectified by the end of the semester. Any further questions from anyone? Comments or questions before we adjourn? All right. So it is. We still got done in less than an hour. It's 3:29. Can I have a motion to approve to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second?
Second, Glenn.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone.
Julianne?